Hey guys, welcome back to the Hangar. In this episode, we are going to get back to work on the mini splits. We had a bunch of equipment that we needed that arrived in the mail, so let me show you what we got going on. Okay, a quick butt in here from Future Zach. As you'll remember in a previous video, I had went around and installed all of the indoor units for the mini splits already. So all I had done, and I'll show you this one here, which will be in the living room. You can see it there right above my head. But I have installed all the indoor units previously, had them hung on the wall and ready to start running line set. So what I'm missing to finish the indoor portion of the mini split system is I need to run the line sets from the indoor units over to the branch distribution boxes, and then the branch distribution boxes will also have communication and power cables that run to the indoor units as well. So I'm going to jump over and show you those parts now. Well, okay, so the first thing that you see here is that all of the line set that I ordered finally showed up. So we have the vapor legs of all of the line set on this side and the liquid leg of all of the line set on this side. And I ordered these 4 sets of line set, and hopefully that is going to be what we need to get it done. So let's walk up and look at some of the other stuff that we ordered as well. Hey, Future Zach again. You're probably sitting there saying, Zach, I only see 4 line sets there, and you've been saying that this is a 5-zone mini split system. You're missing a line set, and you would be 100% correct. So the manufacturer, or the distributor, I guess, that I ordered this system from, they actually shorted me 2 whole line sets. They shorted me a line set for one of the indoor units, and they didn't send me the line set that goes from the distribution boxes to the outdoor unit, which is a bigger line set. I ended up having to fight with them for a while to get a refund. I just had forgotten what I had ordered because I had ordered all this stuff so many months ago that when I opened it up, I just assumed that everything had arrived, but really I'm short 2 line sets that are not shown here on the floor. So we ended up ordering 2 of these branch distribution kits and a Y here to tie everything back into the outdoor unit. So the plan will be the outdoor unit will run large line into the house. Inside the house, we are going to have these Ys for both the vapor leg and the liquid leg that will then branch that line into 2 branches. Off of each branch, we will connect to both of these branch boxes. Both these branch boxes are both good for 3 units each. So 1 unit will have 3 units off of it, and 1 unit will have 2 units off of it. So the hooking up the line set for the refrigerant is going to be the easiest part of this build. All we do is we run the lines from the units to the distribution boxes, and then from the distribution boxes we go back to the Y, and then from the Y we go to the outdoor unit. That's all pretty straightforward. What I have no idea how to do is to hook up the power and communication. Okay, so Future Zach here again. I was so wrong here. So running the electrical and the power and communication cable was so much easier than running the line set. Running the line set was for sure the hardest portion of this build. So if you're going to tackle something like this yourself, I guess conceptually it was fairly straightforward for how the lines need to be connected, but actually implementing and in practice running those line sets was extremely tough. You have to be very careful that you don't kink them. I ended up having to cut and flare all my own ends, and then leak testing the whole system. It was a very, very technical and difficult task. So I was very wrong. The electrical and the power and communication is way easy as compared to running the line sets. So I did order this big spool of power and communication cable for mini splits. I think it's just like a 14-4 conductor wire is all it really is. So it's just 14 gauge with 4 conductors inside there. I hope I have enough. I may have to order more depending, but this is essentially the last bit of kit that we need to get everything installed. So let's not waste any time and let's jump on it. So we started by running the long set to the indoor unit that was the furthest away from the distribution boxes, and that's the unit in the guest bedroom. So here we are mounting the line set, running it to the box, and then we go back through and secure it to the floor joist for the second floor, all the way to the north side of the house where it will tie into the distribution boxes. Okay, so as a quick update, we got 5 of the 10 refrigerant lines run here. So we have been focusing on these 3 that are all kind of back to back to back in the hallway. So the one that's in the master bedroom, the one that's in the guest bedroom, and the one that goes to the living room are all 3, backed up to this hallway here. And these are the ones that we have been starting on. So the master bedroom is done. We got the liquid and the vapor leg run. We got the guest bedroom done. Once again, the liquid and the vapor lines are both run. And we got the vapor line run for the living room. So what I'm going to jump onto now is I'm going to start working on the access panel that will be in here in the utility room. So I would like to be able to access all these lines, because this is where I'm going to put these 2 distribution boxes that I showed you before. But I want where all of the line sets come in and tie in to these distribution boxes, and then also the communication cable ties into these distribution boxes, and then from the outlets on those it goes to the outdoor unit. And I want all those connections and fittings to be inside of a panel, so that I can take the cover off and access that panel if I ever need to service or repair any of this kind of stuff. So I am going to start scratching my head and figuring out a good way that I can build a removable door or something in here in the utility room, so that when all the stuff is mounted inside, after it's drywall and everything's finished, I'll still have a door or an access panel that I can open to access all of the mini split refrigerant stuff. Okay, I am an idiot because I did not read the instructions before I started building this cabinet. So my first iteration of this cabinet, I had left the stud going through the middle here in place. I was doing that because I'm running short on lumber, and I didn't want to I didn't have enough lumber to make a header and all that stuff. So my original plan was to mount these boxes just like this inside of this panel. So I was reading the instructions, and the instructions then said that it has to be oriented horizontal. So I thought that meant they had to be oriented like this. But, so I completely rebuilt the box. I didn't do any of that on film because I was frustrated that I had to do the same job twice. But now I went through and I read the instructions even closer, and as it turns out, this box has to hang like this, which is just ridiculous. I mean, this thing is 11 inches deep, and they say that you can hide it in your wall. I don't know anywhere you could hide something this deep inside of a wall. So now, if I want to mount these in the cabinet like this, I mean, the cabinet's going to have to stick out almost 6 inches into the room for me to be able to go around this box. I think these are really supposed to be mounted in basements. You know, you hang them like this in between floor joists and stuff. So maybe I try to hang them from the ceiling, you know, the floor joists up above, or something else. I don't know. I'm going to sit here and do some heavy thinking and try and figure out what my new game plan is, but this box, the way it is now, is not going to work at all. Well, okay, so here was the source of all my concerns. This was the installation manual that came with the branch distribution boxes, and they only say that you can orient them mounted to the wall like this. So kind of long ways sticking out from the wall. It even has this kind of caution line here that says that the ceiling side has to face up to that for these units to function properly. Well, I was going through the installation manual for the outdoor unit, and it shows a ton more options for how to wall mount it, and it says you can wall mount it flat to the wall. So I called LG customer service and told them I was a homeowner, in which their automated system just says, well, if you're a homeowner, you have to call a licensed HVAC technician and they'll answer your questions, and then the system just hangs up on you. So I called back and I pretended to be a licensed HVAC technician, and the service person, Rob, I hope you're watching this, Rob, don't lie to me, but Rob said I can mount it like this. So I can mount it with the flat side to the wall, which makes that depth, that how it sticks, how far out of the wall, it takes it from like 11 inches down to about 7 inches, which is a big deal. So I am planning on mounting those flat to the wall just like this. But while I'm waiting on some fittings to arrive, I'm gonna go ahead and continue running line set. Okay, we have the line set for 3 of the units run. So we have the guest bedroom unit, the living room unit, and the master bedroom unit. And we have these line sets run here. You know, we have the one here, and one here. And they all run all the way down to this other side of the house. Make these turns and terminate over here into what I was building was supposed to be a kind of a box. Kind of light's weird because I have a flashlight on, but a box to be able to access all the distribution boxes. Here is the planned layout for how I'm going to install these distribution boxes into my wall. It's kind of hard to see on camera, but there is a faint pencil line here, and there is a faint pencil line here, and so that is the dimensions of my box. I am going to install these distribution boxes like this inside the wall. Over here, I am starting to figure out the layout for the Y branches. I am waiting. It is really tough to find 3/4 inch flare fittings, and they're very expensive. I had to order some online, so I am out of materials for the large Y. But what we're going to do is we're going to jump over to how we're going to tie the mini split refrigerant lines back into the boxes. So with them laid out like this, I am going to reroute these lines so that they'll drop down here, and I'm going to start drilling holes through the side of this to kind of orient the lines so that they all pull in from this side. So I measured the locations of all the fittings back on the distribution boxes with where they'll land with respect to the box itself, and I'm going to drill holes that match those locations. Well, okay, we got the box finished up except for the last line set, which will be coming in from the kitchen. The place that I ordered all of my mini split equipment stuff actually shorted me on a shipment for 2 line sets. They didn't ship me a 50-foot line set for here to go back to the kitchen, and then they didn't ship me my big line set, which is 3/8 by 3/4, to go back from the distribution boxes, which will hang here, will go outside to the outdoor unit, probably stubbing out here. So they didn't send them to me, and I actually have proof that they didn't send them to me. But I called them up and told them about it, and they said since it's been over 40 days, they cannot ship me new ones, and I'm still working on trying to get a refund. So hopefully working through all that. But the box is done. I added these kind of bottom pieces here and one on the top as well to finish it out and finish it in. So I am going to start running the communication cable to the mini splits that we have line sets run to. Okay, so I got some fittings in, which allowed me to finish the supply plumbing here from these Ys to the distribution boxes. So I was missing these 3/4 inch flare fittings that I needed to have these elbows for these turns here for the vapor return lines going back to the unit, at least during the refrigeration phase. And then I had already just bent these 3/8 lines that I already have insulated here. So now I have all the lines installed. I'm still going to put insulation around the 3/4 inch lines, but I'll do that in place. So I have everything that I need to install the distribution boxes into kind of my cabinet in the wall. Okay, I got my light bulb changed in my work light, so now I'm not over here working in the dark anymore, which is great. But I painted the cabinet when I off camera, so I just put a quick coat of white spray paint on it. Turned out pretty good, because you will see the inside of this cabinet when you open up the doors from the inside of the house. I'll probably put some 1x that will come out and stick out just a little bit past the sheetrock, and I'll trim around the box and put doors on it, so it'll just look like cabinet doors built into the wall, and inside that will be all the HVAC servicing location. So what I have done is I have cut the cardboard out that the distribution boxes are sitting on, into the exact dimensions of my cabinet that I had built in the wall. And I have went ahead and transferred the mounting holes, there you can see, to the cardboard. So I'm gonna go and just mark with pencil those mounting holes in the box, and then install the boxes, and then I'll install all these and tighten them down permanently. You are able to see that I was able to get every connection, both from the outdoor unit side of the distribution boxes and to the the indoor unit distribution side, or indoor unit side of the distribution boxes. All of my connections will be inside that box, with the exception of this 1 3/4 inch fitting. So if any of them leak, they'll all be inside this box in my wall, and I can service them at a future date. The only one that will not be inside the box will be this one. So when we put it together, we need to tighten the piss out of this one. Okay guys, I am going to go ahead and end the video here. As you can see behind me, I did get it done. It is all installed and finished, but this build ended up being very, very complicated and took quite a long time. So I'm going to end up splitting this into a several video part series. So I'm going to go ahead and end the video here for today. What we still have to do is I still have to run the line set from the kitchen unit to the boxes. I have to run all of the power and communication cable for all the units as well. I then have to tie both ends together on the power and communication cables. And finally, I have to build a frame and install the outdoor unit and tie the indoor units and the outdoor units together. But those will all happen on a later video. So thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll catch you on the next one.